Today's lesson is topic 10.4, dividing two-digit by one-digit numbers. I will use the standard algorithm to divide two-digit numbers by one-digit numbers. The first problem we're looking at says, Carter is packing t-shirts and shorts into boxes to put away for the winter. There are 42 items to pack, and he packs the same number of items into 3 boxes. How many items does Carter pack in each box? So right now we have a total number of items, so we know we're not going to end up with more items than 42. So we have our number 42, and these 42 items need to be separated into 3 boxes. So we're going to use our long division strategies using does McDonald's sell or serve cheeseburgers to help us solve this. So we end up with 42 divided by 3. So we're going to go through this first one step by step together. Oops, I'm writing down the wrong problem. It is 42 divided by 3. All right, my first step is to divide. So I'm looking at how many times does 3 go into 4. So I look on my multiplication chart if I need to, and I'd go to my 3's, and I'd go down until I end up at a number that is close to 4, but it cannot be more than 4. So for this first one, pretty simple. If I have the number 3 going into the number 4, it only goes in one time. So that's my step for division. Next, I'm going to multiply. We always multiply whatever digit I just wrote down on the top, which was a 1, times whatever number is out here. This 3 out here will always be multiplied times one of the digits on the top. So 3 times 1 is 3. And when I'm working with long division, whatever place value I'm working in right here, that is what where I'm gonna do my subtraction. So the next step is to subtract. So 4 minus 3. So you stay in this row or this column only. 4 minus 3 gives you 1. I have to check and make sure that the number I get right here is less than the number I'm dividing by. Well, 1 is less than 3, and if it is, then I'm ready to move on. The next thing is to bring down just the next digit next to it. So I have a 2, and I'm going to bring that down. So now I'm trying to figure out how many times 3 goes into 12. So once I've gone through all of my steps in long division, I start back over at the top with division. So the 3 is still the number I'm dividing. So I think to myself, how many times does 3 go into 12? Again, I can use my multiplication chart if I don't know my facts super well. And I go to my 3's and I go down until I find a number that's close to 12, but it cannot be more. In this instance, we can actually find 4. That 3 goes into 12 exactly 4 times. So I've done my multiplication, or done my division. Now I'm going to multiply 3 times just the digit I wrote down, which was a 4. So 3 times 4 gives me 12. Then I'm going to subtract 12 minus 12, which is 0. I have to check to make sure that whatever number I got right down here is less than the number I'm dividing by, which I got a 0. So yes, that's less than 3. Now, if there's nothing left to bring down, whatever I get right here would be my remainder. And in this one, I have a remainder 0. So I don't have to write this part when it's just 14. But 3 goes into 42 14 times, and that would be my answer. Now, in your notes, I want you to go ahead and write down this next problem. Please go ahead and include the DMSCB, does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? But if you would rather draw the symbols next to your letters, I am fine with that. So now we are going to take 87 divided by 5. So I go one place value at a time. So I ask myself, how many times does 5 go into 8, which would be 1. Multiply 5 times 1 to get 5. And again, I like to check off each step as I go. So I'm now I'm staying just in this first place value. I do one step at a time. So 8 minus 5 gives me 3. 3 is less than 5, which is my check. And now I can bring down the 7. So now I've done all of these steps. I have to start over with my division again. So I look at my 37, so whatever number I have right here, which is 37. And how many times does 5 go into 37? And I know that it goes in 7 times, because 5 times 7 is 35. So I've done my multiplication. Now I'm doing my subtraction. 37 minus 35 gives me 2. Now I have to check that my 2 is less than the 5 that I was dividing by, and it is. And if there is nothing left to bring down over here, whatever number I end up with right here is my remainder. And I have to write my remainder as part of my answer up at the top. So the answer to 87 divided by 5 would be 17 remainder 2. In your notes, I would like to see you complete 76 divided by 4 and include your steps right here. I would also like to see you complete number 1, 94 divided by 2. And on this one, feel free to use all of the extra information that you are given. So 2 goes into 9 4 times. 2 times 4 would be 8. So you're going to fill in those blanks on this one.